It's time for a random review.
Nice. Welcome to the original Geek Random Review. We set the topic, the dice set the direction. We know what we're reviewing, just not how. Today, we're reviewing Starfleet Academy.
Yay!
Woohoo! So again, if you're watching the whole episode, you're going to hear this twice. If not, please follow us on social media, like, subscribe. Hey, interact, ask us questions, tell us we're wrong. Get on these videos, tell us what we're doing right and what you love and what you don't like. And if there's other stuff, like always, I'm going to try to put up the lists and make it readable so you can see what we're reviewing afterwards. And then if there's something else you wanted us to talk about, let us know.
I'm ready.
All right.
Hit me.
All right,
Hit
Jeff.
me.
Here we go. Oh, I rolled a 6. Successful stealth. The Prodigy connections. Sam's reference to the protostar. Heartwarming continuity. When the hologram Sam mentioned Dal and Gwendola to the doctor, it confirmed that Prodigy is essential viewing. It rewarded deep lore fans without alienating new viewers.
Okay.
And I see the look on your face.
All right. So first of all, I will admit I am. There's one other thing I need to embrace is the animated content.
Yes.
This is true for Marvel. It's true for Star Trek. It's true for Star Wars. I do not watch as much of the animated content, and Star Trek Prodigy is animated content. However, what I do want to twist this into, the stealth check, is all the Easter eggs that are in Starfleet Academy. If you have not watched this and you are a Star Trek fan of the original series, Deep Space Nine, The Next Generation, if you're like, oh no, I'm that era, I'm not this era, there's so many Easter eggs. It's awesome. And so their Starfleet Academy is in San Fran, which is Whale of Whales were. And so you just represented, like, that's one of the Easter eggs in Starfleet Academy is they see the whales. And then I love Paul Giamatti's character in this. He's a great villain, and he reoccurs he's at least in it twice in the first 7 episodes. Nas Braca, he's so good as a villain in this, and he's in the first episode, and there's a moment when he's in an escape pod and he holds his hand up, and it's just like when Spock and Kirk are separated from in the glass, I think in the Wrath of Khan
I think it was the search
like
for Spock.
Spock's dying,
Yeah.
and the needs of the few outweigh. So it's and then flash forward to when Nesbraka reappears in, I think, episode 6. He actually says that she weighed the needs of the one against the needs of the many.
Yeah.
So it was really, it's got so much stealthy. I'm making a stealth check here. Easter eggs, references, Deep Space Nine, original series. There's probably Next Generation. I haven't caught it yet. I'm sure it's there. I just haven't caught it. So I did not catch this one because I didn't watch Prodigy yet.
That's what I was going to say. All I'm hearing is you didn't watch Prodigy, which is fine. I haven't watched it yet either. I will say, I think I've tried it before. The only animated series I've watched was Lower Decks. So that's funny. All right. I will say again, I have nothing for Prodigy specifically. I do love that they put that in, and I agree with you on all that. So I'm not going to reiterate, and I didn't see any other ones that you didn't see. I haven't noticed anything specific. Next Gen callback. They very, very blatantly talk about Cisco in one whole, Captain Cisco in one whole episode. And they reference Deep Space Nine. They do reference other stuff as part of the storyline. So not as much Easter eggy, but just paying homage to the lore and the broader sense of the story.
I have to think Wesley Crusher has, like, his whole, like, he must have got kicked out of the Academy because they lied about that. There was something and someone ended up dying in some scenario.
Yeah.
And I have to think at some point something like that's going to come up. Because I looked into it, what has Starfleet Academy, like how has it appeared in the original series, and it really wasn't in there. Next Generation was in pretty heavily with Crusher. Deep Space Nine had some content. Voyager had some Starfleet content. There's been a little bit in everything, but I think Next Generation had the most because Wesley Crusher being such an important character.
Yeah, it's funny. So I did a little live Googling because I couldn't remember, because I thought he actually became a Q, but he didn't. He became a Traveler. So he left Starfleet Academy because he had become a Traveler. And I do kind of remember that storyline. They're just more interdimensional cosmic beings, very like wise and intelligent, not Q like Loki and mischievous and annoying like the Q are. But yeah, so he does leave Starfleet Academy in order to become a Traveler, this transcendent being.
All right. Shall I roll for you?
Roll it up. Let's do it.
We got a 16. That is a successful wisdom check. The New Mutants' energy, the chemistry of the core 6 cadets, the show's real engine. Despite the cringe dialogue, I don't know why they had to throw that in there. The actors, Andra Rasta, Karine Diane, etc., are genuinely charming. Their friendships feel like they are being built on shared survival, not just proximity.
Okay. I'm on both sides of this fence
Okay.
because I recognize some of the cringiness. I think one of our other topics mentioned a CW sort of energy to the younger crew that we're dealing with. But I think, like you said earlier in the episode, if you weren't listening before this review, go back and listen to the whole damn episode. That's the point. Right? It's meant to have a different energy. It's meant to bring a new generation, quite literally, into the Star Trek Starfleet world. And how do you do that in 2026? You have to play to that Gen Z, Gen Alpha audience. Like, remember, was it called A Knight's Tale? It was
With Heath Ledger.
Heath
and
Ledger,
anachronistic.
Paul
Yes.
Bettany. Yeah, it's all
Knight's Tale.
anachronistic, right? And it was a
Yeah.
great movie, but it wasn't true to the time. But
Yeah.
it brought a story like that to a modern audience in a fun way, and it got to tell the story they wanted to tell. I think that's kind of what they're doing here. I don't think they're doing it intentionally for that purpose, but they're there's young love, and there's like a actually fairly kind of not graphic sex scene, but it's almost it's like close to graphic.
Gene Roddenberry would have been proud.
I mean,
He tried to get a lot of stuff through.
yes. So this is the beauty of being on Paramount Plus, right? So they could get away with more. And of course, I think people are upset about it, but they all swear to each. And that was not constantly filth and foul, but they do swear like, holy shit, right? But it's like, I feel like most of those usages are appropriate to the situation, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you ever wanted to see Captain Kirk or Captain Picard go, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? That's what you want to see. And it's fun and it's light. And I do think that these actors play well together. But of course, it is very much geared to a younger audience. So the girls are all very pretty. The guys are all ripped and jacked. Like, it's definitely an aesthetic choice as well. They're all great actors. I'm not taking anything away from their skills as actors, but they're also very pretty people. And they are also playing these relationships, and, yeah, the main character, I just lost his name.
Sandro Rasta, Caleb Beer.
Caleb, yeah.
Or Nala Ake.
No, Caleb's character. Do you know what's funny? We just did the Marvel episode. If you haven't watched, go back and watch it. Tatiana Maslany plays his mother in the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching. I was so psyched when I saw her because I haven't seen her since She-Hulk. I was like, oh my God, that'd be awesome if she's in this. But anyway, I don't want to go on too long, but I actually like the energy of these kids together. I think they do a great job. I think it's fun. They're very funny at times, and they can be serious. I think the showrunners and the episode, the way they're jumping in and out of certain topics, is harder. I think that's worse for me than the characters, but I think the actors and the characters are great. They're doing the job they're meant to do.
Yeah, I think I've said it in other episodes. I used to be a high school English teacher, and so I saw a lot of teenagers, 1,000 over my career at least. And if anyone ever thinks, "Oh no, this isn't realistic," yeah, it is, because they're way too emotional. They're not making logical choices. They're like, yeah, okay. That's like, yeah, they're teenagers. This makes sense. This tracks. So,
Well,
and
awesome.
and it doesn't matter. Watch any teenage movie from from the 60s, like Rebel Without a Cause, through Breakfast Club, through this show right now. They're all acting the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the time period.
No, I mean, teenagers are teenagers. What are you going to do, right? And I know these are supposed to be like late teens, early 20s, but still, they're like high school, college kids at this point, and they all have different physiology, which is, also, it's funny. They all sort of look human, obviously not the Klingon, not Jaden, but essentially they're all humanoid, and Genesis, I don't remember what race she's supposed to be, but she's obviously not human. And then Sam is a hologram, but they all have these connections, and it's great. But
the Doctor is too, right? I mean,
yes, the Doctor is from Deep
Voyager.
Space Nine or Voyager. Voyager. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love seeing
awesome.
him pop in.
Robert Picardo, great.
Yeah.
Great to see him back. And yeah, so that's good. Oh,
And
all
again,
right. I thought he was a hologram, but I just wanted to double check.
Yes, he was the holographic Doctor, and in Voyager they made it so he could be portable. He had his own field generator in his comm badge, and obviously now this is thousands of years later timeline, so, or hundreds anyway. But again, before we just watch it, there's a lot of connections to different shows, connections to Discovery. They're all connected through this show, and it's great.
Yeah.
So that's our random review. If you loved it, tell us. If you hated it, tell us. But just tell us. And jump on again all the socials and let us know what you like. But right now, I got to take Jeff to court.